wonders for the city. That would do wonders for our pool. That would do wonders for a rec center. And, you know, Mara Campbell with Senator Manchin's office is working on a wellness center for the city of Kaiser right now. Do we have a place for it? You know, that's something we got to look at. We do, but people aren't going to be happy the way we do it. You know, there are businesses, there are people who have come into our office and told us, businesses, hey, listen, we're outside the city limits, but we would like to be in the city limits.
They would have the police protection, and the more Kaiser grows, the more business it brings to them.
Right. Now, I stuck my foot in my mouth at what was it, the last meeting or the meeting before?
No, I had foot in mouth last meeting. Probably the one before.
Mine was the one before. and I kind of leaked something out, but now I can say it with Northrop Grumman growing like they are, and thank you, Kevin Clark and the Development Authority for doing that. That was Kevin Clark and the Development Authority who was very active in doing that. It wasn't our delegates and our county commission. That was our Development Authority taking or putting action behind their words and making something happen for Mineral County. And I can't thank them.
11 months.
11 months worth of work they've done. Hard work. That's who the city of Kaiser, that's who the council wants to pair up with and work with, is people who want to make things happen. And we will do that, Buck.
Yeah.
We will. We'll work with the Chamber of Commerce and the Development Authority. But we need the help from the county commissioners to allow us to do stuff like that. We need to annex, and I can't say this enough, and I had an hour-and-a-half conversation with a gentleman out at Denny's and his wife, and I know he's against it, but we had a great conversation about it. You know, we could agree to disagree, and he understood my points, and I understood his, and you know, it's just where it's at. We're going to have that type of conversation with people. But it's what we got to do that's in the best interest for the city of Kaiser. We need to do this for Kaiser. We were elected to do what's in the best interest for Kaiser, and that's what we're trying to do. I'm not worried about a vote for the next term. I'm going to do what's in the best interest for the here and now and for the future of Kaiser. If they would have done that, if the past administrations, not just the past administration, but the ones before and the ones before would have done this, we wouldn't be in the spot we're in now. And that's why we're here right now, because no one looked to the future. No one thought about that. People who are against annexation because they have farms and that would be in the city limits and afraid they're going to lose their farms and can't have cattle in there. That's a wrong thought process. They would be grandfathered in and that would be okay. That's okay. That's not hurting anything. We want to get the word out. We want to be able to do this. We want to be able to make Kaiser something that everybody's proud of. Something that we can grow on, something that people want to come into Kaiser and bring a business. And when Northrop Grumman's expanding, we want to be able to have development teams come in here and build nice houses, nice development centers that Buck and I and Kevin Clark from the Development Authority went to Oakland, Maryland and met with these people, and that's about to come to fruition. We're going to have someone building up there. We have an opportunity. Instead of it just being a 32, excuse me, instead of it just being a 32 unit townhouses, it could possibly turn into a 3-phase project and be a lot more and a lot nicer and entice these people. Instead of living in Cumberland, they'll want to live in Kaiser. They'll want to live in Mineral County. That's what we want. We want to bring these people here. We want to make Kaiser very enticing to people. To businesses. We have had some businesses come here recently. We've got one on Armstrong Street. We've got one up here coming to the old, where the old Stray Cat Cafe was. You know, and I'm sure I'm forgetting some. We got the bakery down here.
And a pizza.
And Little Caesars. We appreciate those businesses coming here. We want, and the car lot, Weimer's Car Lot. I got a chance to speak to Mr. Weimer the other day at the Royal Restaurant. I thanked him very much for doing that.
And somebody told me, I didn't do it because I will not go on Facebook or anything like that, but somebody told me that on a website, some resident of Kaiser was complaining, just what we need, another car lot in Kaiser. And I just don't understand that. I just don't get it.
If we start doing this stuff, then just maybe Taco Bell, Arby's, something might want KFC out there and bring something in and occupy that building instead of it sitting there empty.
That's a shame. That's a nice building just sitting there.
That is a shame. You're right.
I kept hoping.
If I had the money, I'd put a Waffle House in there. But this is something that we are very adamant about. We're very passionate about. Buck and I have conversations, Buck, every day in our office. Sometimes I have tears in my eyes. Sometimes Buck does. Sometimes I yell. Sometimes Buck yells. Sometimes I tell Buck I'm resigning. Sometimes, I mean, it's a shame because we want to do things, but it's almost like the people don't want. And it goes back to what I said the last time. If you accept mediocre, you become mediocre. And it's almost like the people of Kaiser have accepted mediocre for so long, it's just like, oh well, that's just us. Well, that doesn't have to be us. Everybody's growing around us. Let's jump on board and grow. Let's do what is in the best interest for the city, and let's grow. Let's move on. Let's expand. I am begging the county commissioners, please get on board with us, take a stand, be bold, and allow us to annex. Get behind us. Don't sit in the back row and say, well, we're just going to see what the people say and then we'll take a stance. No, stand up and say, we got to do this for the county. We got to do this for the city. You're the county seat. If you grow, we grow. It's a win-win situation. Do you have anything to add to that?
Absolutely.
You're welcome to.
All right. Last time I was on Percocet, and that makes me hyper. So tonight I'm drug-free, so I have no excuse now. So what I'll say about that, to echo what the mayor's saying, we need our commission to start looking at progressive thinking. You can't, and unfortunately, when you're elected to a position and you're responsible for a position, be it a city, be it the county, a lot of times you have to think what's in the best interest of the citizenry as a whole, not just a few. So when you look at that, and the things we're talking about with annexation, I'll tell you something else. I probably won't be here. I'll just make you a promise. If we can annex the Stony Run Road, we'll get rid of the parking meters. Because the businesses that will annex in, we're not going to put parking meters there. So we'll get rid of the parking meters downtown here. Then we're not talking about parking meters ever again if we're allowed to annex. Everybody will be on a level playing field. Everybody will be paying that half-cent tax, which is just passed on to the consumer. The businesses pay nothing. And it couldn't get any easier than that. And we level the field. We're able to bring that into the city limits. By doing that, we would have to hire more city workers. We would have to buy more trucks. We would have to buy more plows. But so what? That's what happens. That's how you stimulate growth. You make investments to get investments, and you invest money to make money. But if you do nothing, I can guarantee you what the results are going to be. Keep doing nothing, and you keep seeing the decline. You're going to get to the point of no return where you can't pull yourself out of it. But I'm surprised that people should not accept mediocrity. They should expect more. They should expect more from the council. They should be expecting more from their delegate. They should be expecting more from their county commission. That's what you do the job for. You don't get into these positions to look at your next election. You look and see what's the best for the people. Now, New Creek, for example, you talk to some of the people up there. Well, our taxes are going to go up some. Well, how much are they going to go up? I don't know, but I think it'll go up. Well, sure, it'll go up a little bit. But what's wrong with sharing a little bit more of the cost, like we were talking about the fire fee? Why should everything that you do in Kaiser be placed on the backs of the people that live in this artificial city limits? Why is that good? Why is that fair? Why is that right? What's wrong with the good old days where people in Kaiser could get anything they wanted in Kaiser? You didn't have to go to Cumberland. I know who you work for. Where is this again? But anyway, you know, and that was the same way at Piedmont years ago. You could get anything you wanted in Piedmont. But what an ideal concept to keep the money in Kaiser, to keep the money in Mineral County, to have the businesses in Kaiser. So you actually keep funneling it back through to make everybody better. The business, the environment that we're in, and probably we have that opportunity, if we have that progressive thinking, to increase the population and not decrease it. And so I think there's a lot of win-win, but we've got to start thinking, do the progressive thinking, and people elected to positions need to be doing things that is in the best interest, the best job they can do, and not worry about, if I run again, I'm not going to get the votes. So somebody has to see the bigger picture rather than here and now. And if you don't have a dream or a goal and move forward and move to something, then you don't have a plan to do anything. That's more I was going to say. I'm sorry.